Hi, this is Chaz Palminteri, and if you're thinking about getting your eyes done, the only person to see is Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada. I flew all the way from New York to be here, and Dr. Rothman did my eyes. And all I could say is, it's a miracle. I could see. You see Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada.
Broadcasting live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Talktails! And now our host, she's our very own kaleidoscope of talent. What? It's Kelly Clinton!
Wait, cut it out! Hi, welcome. You are watching Talktails on the Vegas Video Network. I am your host, Kelly Clinton-Holmes. I hope I can live up to the kaleidoscope of talent you just said I was. Anyway, I'm so excited about our guest. We got a good get. We got a good get. We are so hot. We so have our finger on the pulse of what's happening here in Las Vegas and actually nationally. My guest today is someone I've known for many years, and she just had her show was debuted last night on TLC at 10 p.m. It's called Sin City Rules, but she is a longtime Las Vegas resident who's done so many great things in our town, for our town. Entertainment reporter and glamour girl, Alicia Jacobs is our guest today. I love her. I really love her. Anyway, actually we have two guests because she brought her dog Sparkle, who is very, very popular. So I hope we have enough mics. But anyway, I want you to meet some other folks here on Talktails. Our Talktails Orchestra is over in this section right here. And I also want to show you that he has a CD available. Please welcome Kenny Davidson, our Talktails Orchestra. KennyDavidson.com. You can contact him and he can get you one of these great CDs. And it's Davidson, it's E-N at the end, not O-N. I also want to say hi to our producer and director, Mr. Scott Whitney. Welcome home, son. Are you all right, sugar?
I have the cleanest butt in all of Las Vegas.
You know, I'm so glad I got all the sophisticated friends to watch the show today.
It's good.
What you mean by that is?
I had a colonoscopy. And it was the best experience ever.
It was fun, huh? It was good times?
I will tell you that I don't remember.
But you're all good.
The drugs were outstanding, and I was polyp-free. I actually don't remember probably 6 hours after the procedure.
Okay, well, big round of applause for polyp-free Scott Whitney.
Yes,
that's no joking matter.
No, propofol is okay. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. It's good.
Did you say Propofol?
Propofol.
Oh, that's
Michael Jackson's drug of milk.
Oh, that.
The
fun.
sleepy milk stuff is good.
All right. Well, I don't wish I had a procedure I could talk about right now. I'm on the mend, but can we talk about the show? You were healed by Friday night.
I think I was healed partly because of what I saw on Friday.
You came to the Smith Center.
I did.
And you saw, it wasn't called Homes for the Holidays, but It was Homes for the Holiday. Clint Holmes show, and I was a special guest. His granddaughter Asia, who was 9, just wowed the crowd. It was a joy watching her have the experience. She sang great, and also Fifth Avenue, the vocal harmony group, stunning. And Mr. Bill Fain was also a guest, and of course musical director Jeff Nyman doing his magic with a tremendous band. So did you enjoy the show, Scott?
Yeah, it's a real shame you people don't have any talent. No, yeah, it was outstanding, and it was cool. We had one of our viewers from our show flew in from Russia, and one of the things he came here for was to see that show. And
his favorite part of the show was?
Well, he killed me. He didn't really like much. No, he thought you were hysterical.
No, but he was a really nice man. He was. He said he watches this show.
Yes, he does.
From Russia.
He does.
I can't see Russia from here.
I'm telling you.
Anyway, it was such a great show. Also, I wanted to say thank you to all the people at the Suncoast where I did a holiday show. Well, not a holiday show. We did a performance. Kenny Davidson was a part of it. He was the musical director. And I co-hosted with Robin Vincent, who, you know, women, as we're going to talk about women and how they can be naughty or nice. They can be your friend or they can be vicious.
Right.
That's coming up in the next segment with my friend talking about some other people. Not her. Love her. Anyway, Robin, back to the story, sorry. Robin, we walked out together. You know, they announced, hey, your host, Kelly Clinton, Robin Vincent, and my microphone was off.
Oh.
Big crowd, yeah. I was like, so she came over as she spoke on her mic and said, I will help you and I will fix this. Do you know that some other women could have used that as an opportunity for sabotage? But not Robin. She is a doll and a talent, and we're doing another show on the 20th. It's Sam's Town. And Kenny, I don't know if you're going to be a part of that, but maybe we'll push your CD there because you won't be there. Anyway, what else is happening, Scott? Something's happening. We're not doing a show this coming Monday.
I'm a little worried about your caffeine intake just now, but...
I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
No, I don't.
So next...
This is just me.
So next Monday, we're not going to do Talktails.
Because
Because we're going to do a Christmas extravaganza Talktails on Friday.
Friday the 21st?
Friday the 21st.
Let's say holidays.
Of just holiday singing. We're going to get all your entertainment, talented friends, and we're going to just have them sing Christmas carols. And we're going to go shopping with Clint.
Clint Holmes will be here.
Clint, well, he's going to go shopping, I guess.
Well, he can go before and after. And also, maybe some of the members of Fifth Avenue. I know Jerry Jones will be here.
We got to get Fifth Avenue. Jerry, are you here?
Jerry's here.
Jerry, can you be there on Friday?
Yes, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fifth Avenue has been assigned to the Big Friday show.
Also, I did invite a superstar, our friend who is the biggest star in the Philippines. Martin Rivera said he would really like to be here. So I'm not positive, but he may be here. And we've got more friends. We have lots of friends we're going to invite. So we won't see you on Monday, but we'll see you on Friday. Okay. I think I should... Robert De Niro might be here.
And how about...
not the real Robert De Niro, but...
How about who? Psy guy or whatever? I mean...
Who?
I don't know. Psy, is that his name?
I think the show just came to a crashing halt.
All
right. Anyway, let's keep the energy up because...
Are you going to invite anybody else who's been on the show to the Christmas thing?
Absolutely. I'm going to invite Sky Miles.
Okay, here we go. Good.
See what Earl Turner's doing.
There you go.
Yeah, as soon as this show's over today.
Will your husband actually be there, or is he going to be really shopping?
No, my husband's going to be here. Listen, I can't wait any longer to go to break because I've got so much to ask Alicia Jacobs when we come back on Talktails right after this. We'll be back.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say. 3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host. Really, I have to say watching. Well,
That's how you do it. They're
really?
watching. There
Okay.
you go.
I got it.
We are the Odds Couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are. We are too.
Hi, I just thought I'd bring my pet monkey, who's got a little problem. He's got a monkey on his back. But anyway, it's just something to do with the show that we'll talk about. I'll bring you back. You got to go. Anyway, please welcome a beautiful lady who is a big part of Las Vegas as an entertainment reporter and as a celebrity personality, and she's done a lot of great things for this town on a brand new show on TLC called Sin City Rules. This is Alicia Jacobs.
Thank you. Thanks, Kelly.
Hi, and Sparkle.
And of
we
course,
can't forget Sparkle.
Sparkle the Wonder Dog.
Absolutely gorgeous.
In his tuxedo.
He dressed
Take
for
note.
us.
He said, I'm going to go see the Holmeses.
Oh, how
They're
cute.
a classy couple. Got to wear my tux.
So cute. I mean, that's why, we'll talk about it later, but I I'm not allowed to have dogs or babies because I forget to water them and stuff. But anyway, you are a big dog lover.
I am.
As long as I've known you, you've had a beautiful dog. How long have you had Sparkle?
Sparkle's 4 years old, and I have 3 others at home who are, they're chilling. They didn't make it out here today, but yeah, my dogs are like the happiest part of my life.
Do they
love them.
eat at the table with you?
Yes.
Because Doris Day does that, doesn't she? You don't know?
I did not know that, but I actually applaud it.
But they are treated very well.
They do everything I do. They sleep with me. We're getting personal now. They sleep with me. They eat with me. They obviously, they're on the show with me. You'll see them quite a bit. I'd say they're almost co-stars on the show for sure.
They travel with you?
They travel with me, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they really are a part of my life in every way. They're my family.
And you actually do some work right, with animal.
Oh, yes. I am on the board of directors of the NSPCA, the ASPCA, and the Humane Society, and very proud of that and very committed to what they are doing and trying to accomplish. As you all know, the homeless pet population is a horrible and frightening problem, not just in Las Vegas, but everywhere. But in Las Vegas, particularly troubling. So anything we can do to further that is always a wonderful thing. And at the holidays.
Especially at the holidays, huh?
Yep, absolutely.
Now, I've known you, I don't know, you probably don't remember meeting me.
Because you're so forgettable.
I'm so quiet.
Oh, my God.
But when I first met you, though, it's many years ago, and I met you in Wayne Newton's dressing room, right shortly after I met him, only the year I met him, which is kind of 19-ish.
We don't give out years anymore, or so I thought.
But you, at the time, I mean, you were introduced to me as Miss Nevada. So you're a beauty queen. You are once a beauty queen, always a beauty queen.
There you
always.
Go. Always.
Are you still involved in the pageants?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Miss Universe is coming up. It'll be in Las Vegas again this year, and I've been asked to participate in that. I've judged Miss USA, which is always a lot of fun and a huge honor. Yeah, I mean, I think once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. Unless you've had a bad experience, which luckily I never have. It's always been something in my life I'm very proud of. I actually credit pageants with so much that I've been allowed to accomplish. I mean, it's opened so many doors for me in my career that I am very grateful to pageantry. So I'm one of the people that has nothing bad to say about them. Well, there's always a BITCH or two, but hey, I guess it doesn't change because I'm still dealing with that. But
see,
it's okay.
she got around that. She spelled it rather than say it.
Yeah, are we allowed to spell? We can spell,
I think it's
right?
okay.
You're actually allowed to say that if you'd like.
You can
I can say bitch?
Oh, no, save it for when we talk about the
I'll
new
say it a
series.
lot.
Yeah, let's save it. But the pageants, what was it? I mean, I know it was a positive experience, but what was it like? When did you start in high school doing that, and then it led up to you actually becoming Miss Nevada?
Well, I was not a toddler and tiara, I can tell you that. I wasn't one of those because
that's
no judgment, but just not my cup of tea. I kind of think that a girl it should be her own energy, her own decision to participate in a pageant, and not the mom or the dad, because that's a whole other story. But I was a senior in high school when I did my first pageant, and interestingly, I had been in a really, really bad car accident and had a lot of scars. And when you're 17 years old and you're full of scars, it can mess with you, and it did. I thought I was a monster, and I didn't want to go out of the house. I had a lot of injuries on my forehead, head, my butt cheeks, everywhere. I got beat up pretty bad. And my mother decided that to prove to me that I wasn't this monster, she would enter me in a pageant. And this particular one also had talent. I was a ballet dancer, so I was able to incorporate dancing into it, and I won. And that silly little pageant made such a difference for me at that moment.
With the confidence.
Yeah. And then the next one I did right after that was Miss Nevada. So it was a relatively short amount of time. And then after Miss Nevada, went to Miss USA, then got married. And I thought my pageant career was over, and then ended up doing Mrs. United States and won that. So I was very fortunate.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I've had a really nice run. And then I said, I'm quitting. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Done. And that was it.
But show business called. Because you've been an entertainment reporter in town since I can remember.
I started at Channel 13. And it's funny, I got the job at Channel 13 2 weeks before I crowned my successor as Mrs. United States. So I was very lucky. I didn't have a lot of dead time. But again, I would say that having had that national title put me in front of a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And it opened that door. And I'll tell you what, I sucked. I was so bad. I was a horrible reporter on air. I had teleprompter fear, and I was so green. It was very sad. And for whatever reason, Channel 13 gave me the chance, and they stuck with me, and they allowed me to learn on the air, which I think now would never happen.
Right.
Vegas is a much bigger market. At the time, I got away with it, and I'll always be grateful to them for allowing that. And in fact, that's how I met your husband. I interviewed him while I was still at Channel 13, and such a nice guy. He actually put up with my greenness, if you will.
But so they came to you, though. That's the whole thing, is because of this exposure. And
yes.
They came to you, and did they have, was the position even there?
No,
or did
interesting.
That's what I remember.
Isn't that strange? At that time, there were no on-air, no television entertainment reporters, which is kind of strange when you think about that we're in Las Vegas. It's entertainment capital of the world, and nobody was doing it. And so I thought, yeah, great, let's do it. So together we sort of forged this new ground, and it worked. And I'd say I was there, 5, almost 6 years, and then the gig at Channel 3 opened up, which was, at the time, they were the #1 station, and I was
They
thrilled.
probably didn't have an entertainment reporter.
You know, they actually did. They had somebody that was doing weather and entertainment, which is kind of tough to wear both hats and to do either well. So she ended up leaving, moving to another market. They gave me the job offer, and I grabbed it, and that was, for me, wow, professionally, probably one of the best experiences. Channel 3, the nice thing was, by the time I got to Channel 3, I knew my stuff, and I wasn't learning on the job. I was able to enjoy and grow as a journalist. So that's
You're so good at it too.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I
appreciate
remember.
that very much.
I don't. Is there anyone that you didn't interview, because you probably interviewed every major celebrity that played here in Las Vegas? Give me some of the highlights.
I think I have.
I know you were. I know this, and I don't know why it sticks in my mind. Big Barry Manilow fan.
A Manilow.
A Manilow.
Manilow, Kelly.
Deny?
Well, no, interesting. You said, "Wow, you're
I know.
good." I was, and then I wasn't. I got the chance to go interview him, and I was very hesitant because I had some very negative issues where he's concerned, because he kind of slighted me when I was a child. I saw him in the fashion show mall, and it was my birthday. This is the saddest story. And all I wanted was Barry Manilow's autograph. Okay, I was a really strange. I was 14. But
everyone
a nerd.
has a dream. You know?
I mean, everybody else is like into Madonna and stuff, and I'm into Barry Manilow. That tells you what a nerd I am. So I worked up the courage. I had all my little girlfriends with me because it was, again, my birthday. I walked up to him and I said, "Mr. Manilow, my name is Alicia, and I just love you. Could I please have your autograph? It's my birthday today." And he looked at me and he said, "No, and leave me alone." And he took off running down the mall like he was trying to escape from me. And I stood there and I cried. I was just heartbroken. And so after that, I never listened to his music. I put the albums away. I was heartbroken and embarrassed because all my friends were there.
Yeah.
You know, really.
Is there a healing coming on right here? Because I can't take it.
I get the chance to go do this interview. He's opening at the Hilton. And they're like, "Would you like to go do this interview?" And I'm like, no.
Barry Manilow, bad.
This could be very interesting. I go, this is one of those rare times in life where what goes around could come around. I go, I'll bet that day when he did that to me, he never dreamed I'd be interviewing him for television. So I went to the interview, did a really good interview. He was very nice to me. Of course, I waited till the very last question, and I confronted him. I had to.
Did you say, "Do you remember me, Manilow?" It's
just like that.
Okay.
Just like that.
Is that what you did?
That's exactly what I did. How did you know? How did you know? Well, it's funny. They had given me a headshot of his, and so I handed it to him. I go, "Now may I have your autograph?" And he said, "Oh, sure." And he signed it. And funny, when we aired the piece, we ended the piece with him signing it, and we, pulled up "Can't Smile Without You" in the background. It was a little hokey, but it turned out great. It was a great chance. Like I said, what goes around comes around.
So I don't know if I was too busy doing my theater piece just now, but did you say to him, "You did this to me in the mall"?
You know what?
Stunted my growth.
I didn't want to confront him too much, so I sugarcoated it a little bit. I told him that I wanted his autograph and that I was unable to get it that day because he was busy. I let him off hook a little bit.
You took the high road.
Well, I didn't want to mess up a whole relationship with the Hilton and all that either. They'll never invite me back here to interview anybody again. So I got my point across.
Yes.
Did a really cool interview. He was fantastic. And then we actually kind of became friends after that. So goes to show you, I found forgiveness.
I'm so glad you hung in there for the healing. Another good friend of yours. Well, I just said that I met you in Wayne Newton's dressing room.
Yes.
So you have known Wayne for so many years.
Most of my life, actually.
He doesn't get interviewed by everyone, but you always can get the interview. For a lot of people, there's a lot of people we could bring up. So Wayne, close friendship, and his sister-in-law is one of your best friends.
Trisha, one of my best friends. I mean, I actually say she's my sister.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a scary duo.
Yes, you are, but never boring.
No,
I'll say that.
Nobody will ever call she and I boring, ever. No, I mean, they've become my family. They're really my adopted family. I spend every holiday, every significant occasion with them. They've got this amazing home in Montana, which they're so kind to invite me there for Christmas, New Year's, spend the summer there a couple times. I mean, they're amazing people. As you well know, I mean, I don't think they get much better than Wayne. I mean, the kindest, most, oh my God, I talk about him, I just...
in my life. So
right,
I know he's
right.
very special to you and Kat.
Like, not a mean bone in his body.
No, good.
You know?
Good person and helped us both along the way.
What? When I went through some tough times,
Yep.
he was the one person, well, one of a couple of people that sat me down and really talked me through and guided me and gave me wonderful advice. And, you don't forget that. And I will never forget that.
Alicia, I'll never forget it as well. You're absolutely beautiful. So I'm channeling myself through Kelly because I couldn't actually be at the show today.
Any chance I can get. Anyway.
That's crazy how good that is. And you're a chick.
I am a chick. But anyway, one more. All right, let's bring up one more celebrity. You were the last person to interview the late Danny Gans.
Yes.
Very good friend of yours.
Yes, very.
I mean,
very.
You were literally the last person. So
yes.
I know this is a tough one for you because you were very close friends, and I know
he meant the world to me.
Yeah.
He really did. He and his friendship, and again, somebody that was incredibly significant in my life, and I will never get over him being gone. I miss him all the time.
Any sense at all?
No, I mean, it was one of those things where when we actually did finally find out the cause of death, I was stunned. I mean, when you think you know somebody that well, and I did think I knew him that well, and there were a lot of things going on with him that obviously drove him to a place where he was, apparently it was a drug issue. I think we all know that by now. And just the fact, it bothered me that he was in such a dark place and for whatever reason felt he couldn't share it and couldn't get help.
Right.
Because not just me, but there were a number of people in his life that would have done anything in the world to make things better for him. But he was, in a lot of ways, a victim of his own success. And I hate saying that, but I'm not sure I've ever known such a perfectionist. And with Danny, it was never good enough. I remember saying to him, one of our last conversations, how could you not be just reveling this? You are headlining at what at the time is perhaps the most phenomenal property in Las Vegas at Encore. You've got Steve Wynn thinking you are the cat's meow. Your show, probably one of the most successful ever. I mean, and the man was so talented. Very few people in my whole life or anybody's life that I've known of that could do what he could do.
Yeah.
But it was never good enough for him.
Just the pressure, the self-imposed pressure.
It really was self-imposed because everybody else was constantly, telling him, you are amazing. Yeah. But it was never good enough. And it literally drove him to a place that he could no longer function. And it's tragic.
It really is.
Because it so easily could have not turned out that way. And I mean, that phone call, that's one of those things, we all have those moments, I know, but
we're all
4 a.m, picking up the phone. And
yes.
And I remember I just didn't believe it. I kept thinking, all right, it's going to ring again any minute, and they're going to tell me it's not true. And, that never happened. And went to work that day, and that was my hardest day ever on the air.
Well,
ever.
yeah. I remember we were traveling, my husband and I, and they were friends as well. And,
Yes.
And it did seem like one of those things that just was not real. And we'll never forget him. People are still talking about him to this
True.
day, and he had such a huge fan base. You have a huge fan base. We have a live chat question, but Scott, before I ask you what they're asking, is it about the show on TLC?
It is not.
Okay,
About my
because
shoes?
I want to say something before we get into that. So who do we have, and what do they want to know?
Sally wants to know who has been Alicia's most memorable person to interview, good or bad.
Good or bad? I like that.
You know what? I'm an idiot because I should be prepared for that question because I get asked that question and I wish I could. There are for different reasons, as I'm sure you will agree. There's a different answer. I mean, you just brought up Danny. I would have to say, my last interview with Danny was
extremely significant to you
for many reasons.
Did you ever have an interview
Bad ones? There's plenty of
where
those
you
too.
just couldn't get them to open up an answer, or
the
they had
Olsen twins?
The Olsen
Holy
twins.
cow, that was like, that was bad.
Was that
but
here in Las Vegas?
That
or
was
were
here
you...
in Las Vegas. That was they just wouldn't talk.
Well, they're
Like,
hungry.
yes.
They're very hungry.
No. Yes. No.
They're dehydrated. They're thinking,
It was a nightmare. And it was live. It was a live shot.
Wait,
so
was
it's like.
Was it a red carpet situation?
No. I had been asked to go interview them. They were doing
great.
an event out at MGM and live shot for the 6 o'clock news. So there's no getting out of that. You can't pitch to a commercial. You can't say thank you. I'm leaving. I had to fill 5 minutes.
You could go. And just knock them over.
Oh, it was bad.
But, okay, what about the funniest? Was there someone who you just couldn't keep a straight face, or they were just hysterical and you just could?
That happens a lot. I mean, I love interviewing comedians because they're always, they make you laugh, and what's better than that? I love Dennis Miller. I mean, but the funny thing with Dennis Miller, when you interview him, which you should do anyway, you literally have to pay attention to every single word. The guy's so brilliant.
He swallowed a
that if you
dictionary,
Yes,
right?
if you miss one word, you're screwed. You can't do the rest of the interview. So that's always a fun challenge with him.
He scats vocabulary words.
Yes, very well put.
Really,
very well put.
And you're like, wait, I have to look that up. I'm sorry, I can't.
Like he's just amazingly brilliant. He really, and I love that. That's fun to do. I mean, this is no secret, and what the heck, I can slam her now. Holly Madison.
Oh, someone said to me, just say Holly Madison
there you
to
go.
Alicia.
No, she was horrible to me.
So you're close, huh?
Well, yeah,
you mean on
like
an interview?
this.
She did that?
Yeah. Which is like usually when you've got a
insane.
camera on somebody, they're very nice and they behave. Not this woman.
But why? Was it personal to you, or was it just she doesn't really like to give interviews?
Oh, she loves the camera.
That.
Yeah, trust me, she's never met a camera she didn't like, naked or clothed.
So was it a jealousy, perhaps?
You know what? That you'd have to ask her. I don't know what she did this for, but I think maybe what started it is before she did. We dated the same person, not at the same time.
Okay.
Different times. And I was told that was part of why, because she had a very nasty breakup with this person. I actually didn't.
Okay,
I'm actually still friends with him, so
this makes
no big
complete
deal.
sense. Could it be this person?
Yes.
Not David Copperfield.
No.
But the Chris Angel.
I believe that is who
so
we're
that's
talking
exactly
about.
what happened right there. All right, now let's segue into the show. So I couldn't wait to see the show last night on TLC, Sin City Rules, right?
Yes.
So there's 5 women, right? All very different.
Very different.
All not boring. So we've got Lori, right? We've got, is it Wendy? No, Wendy.
No.
I'm thinking about food again. Jennifer?
Yes.
Lana? Okay, wait, and there's one more, right?
Yes.
What's her name?
Amy.
Is she the,
Amy.
who plays poker?
Jennifer.
Jennifer's
seems
poker
nice.
Player.
Stick around.
Okay. The Lori.
Mm-hmm.
She's the Rain, the makeup.
She owns Rain. Yeah, she and her husband own Rain Cosmetics.
She seems okay. And then who's the one whose father used to be used to take care of people, but not in the way of it leading to anything in the future.
Not exactly a concierge.
Yeah, like
taking care of.
There were trunks
Amy.
involved.
That's
Amy
Yeah.
seems lovely. And Lana, and I don't want to mispronounce her name because it's Fuch.
Most of us mispronounce that
So it
name.
could be Futch, or it could be could be right. It could be that, or it could be Fuchs.
Could be.
How do you say it?
I just say bitch.
Woo! Score! God, I wish we had drums right now. All right, so I'm watching the show, and let me tell you something. If I didn't have rheumatoid arthritis and a little bit of osteoporosis, I'd be kicking some people's butt right now. Because they were picking on my friend Alicia Jacobs.
Yeah, I was sort of like the human punching bag, right?
First, that's because they got to take they got to use the best in the beginning to get the show going, so we'll watch the next one. So they had to put you up front and center. How did you feel last night? Was the big premiere? You watched it with friends. You didn't go to the Venetian where Lana was having a party.
I actually, because I felt it was important, I've worked very, very hard on this show, as have a lot of people. And we've had, the crew that worked on this show was the finest, most amazing, hardworking crew I've ever worked with. So I have a huge amount of respect for them, as do I respect Evolution Media, who produces the show, as well as Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the OC. They have an amazing track record, which was part of why I wanted to do this show.
That's why you would say yes.
Sure. So I went to the red carpet last night and supported the show in that regard because I felt that was the right thing to do. And then I just kept on walking.
You just kept
right
on
out
walking
the
back
building.
to the ballet.
My good friend Melinda Fader threw a very nice, but yeah, of course, she threw a very nice cocktail dinner party for me and some close friends, and that's where I saw the show. So
for the first time. Did you see it edited before?
No.
No.
Boy. So my only clue is because obviously we did a lot of press 2 weeks leading up to, and some journalists were given a screener copy, so they had seen it. Mm-hmm. And just by virtue of the questions they were asking me in the comments, I was like, "What the hell is going to be on this show?"
Yeah, that was.
So I had a pretty good idea.
Character assassination going on.
Yeah, that's exactly the right term.
So they had said some mean things. Will you get a chance to defend these things in the next episode? Because they said you
many
were,
episodes.
like you said,
yeah,
kind of that you dated all these married men, and she didn't even. Atlanta didn't even give you. She just shut you out cold shoulder. Is that planned? Did the producers and directors tell you guys this is what we want you to do, or was that a natural thing that happened?
I can tell you, I was never asked or told anything to do. So I don't think any of it happened with any of my castmates. I mean, you'd have to ask them, obviously, but not with me.
Because you have to wonder. I was a part of a small pilot that, nothing happened after that, but they were kind of stirring stuff up, and I was like, I feel dirty. I'm so that's interesting to know that a lot of that happened. All right, we're having questions. We got people saying, let us in there. Okay, who wants to ask a question, Scott?
Okay, 2 questions. First, are you aware that you have to turn your mic on before people hear you? I didn't know.
See.
You're good. It's the producer director.
The guy who's been there for 2 years in a dark cave doesn't know.
So
2 questions. Are you aware of the story arc for the entire series? And second, is there anything about that you regret in doing this show?
That's a good question.
Both really good questions. As far as the story arc, it's funny. I wasn't aware of much of it. I'm sort of learning as I go. Obviously, and I've been told for sure now, the whole Alicia Svetlana story is, I would say, the dominant part of the show, at least up until the first 5 episodes is what I've been told.
So
and it
Svetlana
could go more. That's what I call
Lana.
her. I call her Svetlana.
Ooh.
Either that or Morticia Addams.
Woo!
Does she not look like Morticia Addams?
Well, I'm afraid.
Not that that's a bad
I'm afraid
thing.
of her. I am terrified of her.
Should be.
No, but I did creep me out a little bit.
She's
it
off.
creeped me out a little bit. Now, does she really have does she also have a monkey?
I believe she has a monkey. I have not met the monkey, but I've been told she has a monkey. No, I have not met the monkey.
So, but the monkey, I think, I would think they would use the monkey in the show.
I would imagine we will see some monkey time.
I think we saw that last night.
You got a monkey, you might as well show your
premiere.
monkey.
Exactly. That's what I live by, that phrase.
Yeah, show your monkey.
But I mean, let me just give you a little piece of advice.
Okay.
You keep an eye on Sparkle and the other puppies when the monkeys are around.
I know. I heard the monkeys can be a little rough.
I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about monkeys because, I mean, especially with my little baby right
No,
here.
you got a nice monkey.
But, anyway. Okay, now.
Poor guy.
So, do you want to just? Is this our camera right here for Alicia to look in there and say, "I didn't do any of that stuff they accused me of"?
For crying out loud! No, not one thing that
they
this
said she was
woman.
a homewrecker.
No, none of it is true. And I've said this in several interviews with our buddy John Katz-Lamitas,
Love you, John.
Norm Clark, quite a few interviews, and I have set the record straight as often as I can, but it will never be quite enough. Nobody wants to be accused of vile things. And this was my thing all along. Look, we've all done things in our lives that I assumed I was going to get a little beat up over. And I went into this thinking, okay, you know what, I've got to own up to those things. And I was prepared for that. I may not have liked it, but I was prepared for that. But when you start getting things thrown at you that are completely 100% false, that's where I had a problem. I said, I don't even know how to defend myself to these things because none of them are true. Plastic surgery, I said, okay, look, and I've said this to many people, I get Botox, I've had Juvederm, I've never had plastic surgery on my face.
Yeah, they were not nice.
Not yet. I'm sure the day will come.
Friend. You're
but not
gorgeous.
now.
They said mean things. That's why I thought this has to be scripted.
Especially Lana, whose face doesn't move.
Yeah,
Oh, my God. I've seen before and afters of her. I don't want to be catty, but
did you bring them?
Go online. Just look her up online. I do have them on my phone.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, and but also I liked what you said. You said when the person told you, she says you've had several affairs with married men, and that's when you said that's a character thing. When a person just judges you, she gave you the complete cold shoulder. And I've had that with people before where they pretend you're not even there and they won't look at you when you're sitting right there and there's 3 or 4 people there.
It's terribly rude.
She
terribly
throws you out, but on what someone else might have said about you. Not about, that is
you know what? At the end of the day, I actually don't even think somebody said that about me. I think she manufactured these things. I think she was looking for a way to start drama. And I think she was looking for a way to hate me, and she had to justify it. She couldn't just walk around hating me without reasons. Because people would be like, what's wrong with you? So she made up these reasons. The funny part was she claimed in the beginning she'd never heard of me. Yet she knew my whole life story. Like, which is it? God?
Oh, that's right. She referred to herself as God.
Quite often.
Goodness.
That's kind of an ongoing theme.
And then
her.
God had a gun party. I remember that. Right? With bodyguards.
Did you notice her bodyguards? Okay, again, I'm being catty. Her bodyguards wear logo wear with her name on it. And I'm like, no, come on. Have you ever seen, like most bodyguards stay in the background, you don't notice them. No, not these guys.
Yeah, no, they're like, too much attention was drawn to them.
Thank you.
Like my bodyguard, not even here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean?
Not this guy.
Right? I mean, seriously. Oh, no, of course he has a bodyguard on his back. But we have another live question. This is so great. I'm so excited.
A couple more. Are you at liberty to discuss what percentage of that content is real as opposed to partially scripted? And also, how do you suppose the 5 ladies were selected, including yourself? What was the criteria?
I'll start with that one.
Yeah.
I know that they did a pretty wide-range casting. They interviewed a lot of ladies. I'm going to throw out a number. It's not exact, but I'd say close to 500 women were at least approached. Yeah. And then they kept kind of whittling it down from there. Then by the time it got to, I would say, April or May, we did casting tapes where they put us all on camera, interviewed us for quite a few hours, and then we also kind of went from there. As far as how we were chosen, God only knows. I've asked myself that question quite a few times. There are a few of us that I kind of go, okay, this makes sense.
Right.
But I will give them credit. They really went out of their way to find really different women. I mean,
Yes.
Look, I think if they'd had 5 of me, it'd have been a pretty boring show.
Well, not because you're boring, but because there wouldn't be all the conflict happening.
Yeah.
Because you would like everything the other one liked.
Yeah, and
you're so much alike.
Right, but of the five of us, we really are very, very different women. And the other thing I think is definitely true is we're all very hard-headed, strong-willed women. And so you have to imagine when you get these very strong-willed women together, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, there's going to be some explosive stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other question about as far as, I'm sorry, but how much is scripted?
Yeah, how much of it is, well, I kind of asked you that, but maybe that's a different kind of question. Is there anything where they give you a layout, like today we need a little something?
Here's what I believe they do, and I think you'd almost have to, otherwise you'd have no rhyme or reason to what you're shooting, and we're already shooting, oh my gosh, 16 hours a day at times. So I think that in the beginning they allowed it to play out the first few times to see what was going to happen, and believe me, Svetlana was heinous to me from the first 5 minutes. So I'm sure they picked up on that immediately and said, okay, we need to investigate this. Well, while that was going on, then a few other castmates were having their little issues. I think that once the producers see where the problems are, they go out of their way to probably keep us around each other.
Right.
And so it's definitely not scripted, but I think that they do try and create time and places for us to be around each other. So, which is actually okay, because otherwise how would we find each other? Because I didn't know any of these women ahead of time. They're not people that are in my social circle, so I wouldn't be hanging out with them other than the show putting us together.
And you probably won't be hanging out with them too much in the future outside of the taping. And did they have you get together before the taping started?
No.
Yeah, that's what, because it sounds like you just got thrown into the fire together.
Day one, the AFAN event, which I think you saw last night. That was our first day of shooting, first time we met.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, I do have to say this before we go to our question. I was actually at one of the auditions for this.
Were you?
I got called.
I
saw you
think
there.
I recommended your name.
You probably did. Thank you very much.
Sorry. If I had known, I probably wouldn't have done that, Kel.
You're
too nice.
I went because I thought, well, this is what's happening. These are the things that are going on, and maybe I went. But in the interview, I could tell right away. When I was still the entertainment director at the Sterling Club, and they were saying, so Kelly, what do the people really like, all of those well-to-do, wealthy people? What really goes on? Tell us something bad about them. And I was like, well, I can't do it. So I was like, they were like, Jack, please. And I was out. But anyway, all right, what's our next question?
Do you think a reality show can succeed without having people fighting with each other?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to know who won, so if you know, don't tell me right now, because I'm still trying to watch it. But I look at like Amazing Race. My good friend James Vaughn he's on there. I don't know if he won or not again, but I mean, there's just not a nicer guy in the world than James Vaughn. And his partner that he was on there with from Chippendales, they were like the nice guys on the show, and they did very well. They've gone, at least they either won or got very close to winning. So in that regard, some shows can. Now you get a show like any of the Housewives franchise, that kind of thing, you almost are going to have conflict, because that's real life. I mean, there's conflict in real life, not to this level at times. Yeah. But again, when you have a problem with somebody in real life, you stay away from them.
Right. Here, they're like, no, get them together.
You can't. I mean, it's a job. It's like, it's kind of like when I look at this as a job. This is a job. I'm doing this it's a gig. And you can't choose who you're gigging with most of the time. So that's sort of how I relate it.
And it's exactly what they're looking for, But I have to say, not that I watch all of these shows, but when my husband's out of town, I click through everything, because he can't take the stuff. He'll watch your show, though. But so I click through and I just say, I hate women. And I don't hate women.
No, I do.
I have some, but you don't really hate them, because you have a good friend like Trish. And I know you have one or two others.
I don't count them as women. Like, I don't count you as a woman.
Right. Well, because of my chest hair. Listen.
No.
And the goatee? Is that why?
Come on, you know what I mean. It's like there's women and then there's women.
Well, like Clint and his pals will say, she's one of the guys. And I say thank you. And that doesn't mean we have facial hair. I mean, not for more than, the early morning. But I know what you mean. We're kind of broads in a positive way. I mean, that's an affectionate term.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean by that. But when I watch some of those shows, I just say, this is why I can't hang out with women all the time. Only a select few. We have another question. Who do we have, Scott? What do they want to know? You know what, Scott?
I'm
it's
sorry.
the colonoscopy. I'm
it
sure
is.
it's getting
I am so proud of a clear colon. What was the motivation for taking the gig? I mean, knowing that, based upon these producers, there was probably going to be, some fighting there. Why did you take the gig? I mean, was this going to move your career forward, you think? What was the thinking behind it?
Great question, and I've been asked that question by pretty much everybody going, what the hell did you get yourself into? And it's simply put, my career has been on television almost 18 years, but what I've never done in television is a reality show. I've done news and hosting and interviewing, which is great, and I thought, well, this should be interesting. It could be exciting. It's something I've never done in my life. I'm a huge fan of these shows. I'm not going to lie to you. I watch all of them. They're fun to watch. I did my homework. I looked up the Evolution Media is an amazing company, huge company. And sure, at the end of the day, like I said, it is a work decision. And I thought it's great exposure.
Absolutely.
Depending on how it clicks or doesn't click, it could be a really smart career move. It could also be a career ender, but I'm hoping not. I mean, there are some women who have done these shows that have gone on to enormous success. There are others who haven't. So, all I can control is me for the most part and how I hopefully come across on the show. And I got to hope for the best. So, the jury's still out, but we'll see.
Well, like I remember our mutual friend Wayne Newton saying,
as long as they're talking about you, you're in the game.
That's exactly what he said to me, too.
See?
How funny is that?
Well, I know. I'm channeling. I'm telling you. Nobody said it to me many years ago, or when he's gotten some negative press during his career. He's gotten both great praise and also that. But as long as your name is out there, that is a question I want to ask you, because you were on Channel 3 for the last few years, right? Did any of because you have celebrity friends, you are out in the limelight, and you've dated some very famous people. Has it ever, and we've had a few things go wrong, Vince Neil. And I'm just saying, I can't say it again. But I mean, there was some weird stuff that happened. Did that interfere in your professional life on the station? Did they?
Are you saying Vince, or you mean
or
just
those
people in
some
general?
of those couple that was a little weird thing that happened where there was a little controversy out in public.
A little.
Or if there's someone you were dating, you dated David Foster, right? Mm-hmm. So these are big names, and so you were in the paper not as the reporter all the time, but being reported on or about, right? So did they ever say, hey, you're getting too much attention in the celebrity columns yourself? It's kind of taking away from your job.
Very valid question. No, I mean, again, when you're looking at television and we're all looking for ratings, when you get your name in a column here, maybe it'll make somebody watch your newscast. Maybe they'll be curious, go, who is this woman? Let me check her out. And boom, you've got people watching. And I would like to believe that if I can get them to watch and they like my work, and hopefully they do, then they become a permanent viewer. And that's not a bad thing. Now, an extreme situation, which is what you brought up with Vince, that was a horrible thing. And it's one of those things in life, and hopefully most of us don't have many, that I wish I could redo, that I wish never happened. I wish that, I'll be honest with you, I wished I had never dated him. I really do. And it's a weird thing to say, I'm sure. But I don't know what I was thinking. And I've said that before. I'm like, what? I was in like some kind of on propofol or something. I don't know.
There's propofol. But we all go through that stuff. In fact, let's roll some of the clips from my past. I'm sorry we don't have them. But I'm telling you, we've talked about this on the show. I'm so glad they didn't have the cell phone and the picture and the video over, my growing years, which were all the way up till I met my husband, Clint. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to relive all that stuff.
No,
but we go through phases. I've had, anyway, I don't want my husband to go, shut up. Where he says, what were you thinking when you, and I'll go, listen, it was a time in my life. So don't even worry about that stuff. I love you. You're loved in this town. I'm thrilled about the show. I hope you get to redeem some of those things that were said about you.
I will tell you this, and this is a little breaking scoopy boopy. I would say that probably by the 4th episode, you will see that absolutely everything that Svetlana has said and accused me of is completely false. From the career things, from the plastic surgery things, to the home-wrecking whore. Can you say whore? No. Home-wrecking whore stuff.
Say that.
All of it. 100%. The audience, if they stick with us, and I hope that they will see that she is lying. And I will use the word lying because that is a lie.
Well, I'm going to be watching every week. And I'm a big fan. Clint is a big fan and friend of yours.
As am I of you guys, the biggest.
And thank you for agreeing to be on the show when everything, I mean, you're busy. You had your premiere last night, you had your party, and this is like, you know, you got other things going on.
No, I'm honored that you asked me.
You were the
so
scoop.
Sparkle.
Could you know Can't Smile Without You? Thank you so much, Alicia Jacobs. She's a great guest. Thank you. Thank you for being here on TLC, 10 p.m. Don't forget about Sparkle, 10 p.m. on Sunday nights, TLC, Sin City Rules. And Sparkle, I promise if you stay over, I'll water you.
Yeah, you guys have the same color hair.
And you know what? That's a compliment.
It is.
You know the words, Kenny?